It's the VancouverEntrepreneur.ca podcast.
Hello, this is Robert Smigel coming to you today with a VancouverEntrepreneur.ca, where we talk to the entrepreneurs who are making it happen here in British Columbia. Today, we are with Jen Ray, director and owner of Dancinema. Dancinema is a Canadian and American-based company founded in Vancouver that fuses the arts and industries of dance and film through productions, education, and events. Next up is the third annual Cascadia Dance and Cinema Festival happening June 2nd and 3rd in Vancouver. Well, Jen, thanks for coming on the show today and taking the time to talk to all our listeners today.
Thanks for having me, Robert.
Great. Okay, I want you to tell us a little bit more about Dancinema and the up-and-coming Cascadia Dance and Cinema Festival.
Okay, well, Dancinema, the abridged version it's a company I started when I was a film student at UBC. I was also teaching dance, and I just saw that there was this overlap in interest and in need with the two arts, and there was room to really occupy that middle space, particularly in a place like Vancouver. So, it started as me making my first film as an experiment, and it grew into something much bigger than that quite quickly. So, I launched it at the end of 2013, and Cascadia is now in its third year. We started that in 2015. And my goal with Cascadia was, not to create an opportunity to showcase my own films, because I was already doing that at other festivals. It was really to have my take at curating, because, everyone has different tastes, everyone has different things that they value in films and different kind of, projects that they want to highlight. And I had a very clear vision on the kinds of projects I wanted to highlight, and a reason why I thought Vancouver would be a good home for it, being like both a dance city, but really a strong film city. I felt like it was a place that made sense to do that.
Yeah, especially with all the filming going on here. It's just really a mecca for a lot of the production that goes on. Okay, how is Cascadia connecting the dance and film industries? What does that look like?
Well, I would say it's, we're in year 3 now. So every year we've kind of tried, there have been some events that are consistent, like the short film screenings. We've had those every year. And each year has been a little different. In our first year, we screened 9 feature films. We also had the Meeting of Machines performances. So the idea was, Dancinema isn't just video format. It's also like, how do you mix these things in a performance aspect? How do you explore them from a discussion standpoint? Beyond doing a Q&A post-screening. And, that event was really my favorite. Because dance film is not new, but it's something that, even amongst people that agree that they're passionate about dance film, they don't even all call it the same thing. They call it screen dance. They call it dance on camera, dance on screen. Like, there's so many different terms for it. So really the idea is to explore, what dance is doing right now, what film is doing right now, how people are combining them differently. And do that by, showcasing the short films, discussing, industry topics, or, how different people are approaching their work, and really like connecting people. It's an opportunity for people to summit, because so often like we're getting all this information and we're watching all this content, but we don't always have time to like stop and process it, particularly when, things go viral, or, you even think of the Childish Gambino video, this May 2018, like that incorporated dance, that was a screen dance or a dance film in some capacity. And, it's when these things are a moment in time and of cultural significance, I think it's really important that we we actually take some time to commemorate them in some way.
Okay, what is the vision for Cascadia, and why has Dancinema decided to offer this here in Vancouver?
Well, for those that don't know me, when I screened my first film at a festival, I actually met my husband in the States. And so now I live in the States, and I decided to still do Cascadia in Vancouver because I thought that I just saw like a need for it at the time. I mean, a festival is a long-term project. So, between starting Cascadia and the first manifestation, I emigrated, but I still think that Vancouver's a place that makes sense for it because, as you said, we are a film city. We're also a dance city, but I don't think that we're a city that necessarily, in some ways people can sometimes stay in their own clusters, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. People have really strong loyalties, or they have their community, and the dance community is very vibrant. But I just, as kind of a third party, I came in and was like, why don't these two groups meet, or why don't we try and create this third group? I actually call a cinephile is someone that loves film. Well, I say dance cinephile. People that love dance films. So I was like, what if we cultivate this third group here? Because I think it makes sense with Vancouver being a tech city, Vancouver being a film city, Vancouver being a dance city, but also like a big attraction. We've attracted people from elsewhere in Canada and from the States quite a bit because they're like, oh my gosh, Vancouver, I have to come to the festival. And it's like, okay, like you really realize when you talk to people not from Vancouver who don't know about the daily rain, just how much of an attraction the city itself is.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff going on, especially when the summer comes up, spring. It's just a lot of festivals and people are really starting to, the cultures and the arts is just a perfect time to do that. What is the balance between Vancouverites and others involved in Cascadia?
Well, every year we don't necessarily do a separate screening for all locals, but we do screen local films every year. And that's something that is really important, I think, is because we are sending films abroad, but it's important to also be able to show it locally and have, people that and people that you could actually more realistically work with, actually see your film in a certain forum. We host our screenings at the Van City Theater, and that screen is so gorgeous. It's a nice, internationally recognized facility. It's so much better than I'm going to put this on the projector in my living room and we'll appreciate it. That has its place, and I love those kinds of screenings, but there's a level of respect that you show a work when you do show it in a more formal forum. We also have a lot of guests, particularly, it seems to be consistently from LA, I think because, being a West Coast thing, and also just the volume of films coming out of Los Angeles. There's a lot of high quality dance films coming out of there. And consequently, we select quite a few. This year we have about 4 filmmakers coming up from LA. We have, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have about 5 local filmmakers, which is really exciting. I think that's more than we've ever had. And we also have someone who's from New Zealand as well. So I'm really excited that it really will be this, Cascadia is a place of mind, and it's obviously the fictional, the political movement for the Pacific Northwest to separate, but that's not why I named it Cascadia. I named it because we're located in Cascadia, but also because it's this idea of a border, no U.S. Canadian border, and it really being a place of mind and a place of ideas, and so.
Good, yeah. That's really interesting because I was just at the BC Tech Conference Summit, and they talked about the Cascadia connecting Seattle, and just like you said, the ideas and the technology and even the universities and things. So I think that you nailed it as far as that. It's now becoming one now with Amazon moving here and Microsoft being here. It's really uniting the two cities mainly, and the calling of the Cascadia. Now they got this rapid transit going on, so it's really interesting. So, who will be involved and attending this year?
Well, this year, so I'm really excited. We do have some partner organizations that will be attending. In the past, we've digitally or, by way of mentioning or program ads or screening slides, there's been a presence in the past in trying to, connect people that are there with other opportunities beyond our event. But I'm really excited this year. We have, so one of our programmers, Hannah, she's one of the co-founders of Screen Dance Collective, which is a curated, resource for high quality screen dance on Vimeo. And she'll be present. She's been programming for both of our festivals for 2 years now, and she's fantastic. I just love working with her. And she actually has a degree in dance film as well. So it's nice to have a mix of people with, formal education and industry experience. And so she'll be presenting about Screen Dance Collective. We also have Autumn Miss Belk coming from North Carolina. She's from Raleigh. She's with Film Art Dance, or rather she founded it. And this is like a touring, she curates dance films and grades them for K-12 curriculum, so that they actually go into schools in the States. They're not in Canadian schools right now, but basically it's an opportunity that our filmmakers can have. And actually our filmmakers last year, Gemma Crow made her film Warehouse with Warehouse Dance Collective, and their documentary has actually been part of the Film Art Dance Collective. So already these opportunities are kind of rolling. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone present from Standard Vision this year, but this is an opportunity that I was connected with through Alexa Roman at Los Angeles Dance Film Festival. So I'm really excited. We also have an opportunity with Standard Vision. They're an LA-based company, and they have this giant LED screen outside the Courtyard Marriott on Olympic Boulevard. And some of our filmmakers will be able to have their films screened there, which is a really cool opportunity. I unfortunately don't have the measurements, but it's massive, and it's on the side of a building, like in downtown LA. Like, that's so cool. I wish we had a big screen like that in Vancouver for us, but LA will have to do for this year.
Okay. What can attendees expect from the events at Vancouver International Film Center on Sunday, June 3rd?
Well, something I really love about our events is it's not like our audience is really mixed. As I said, it's dance people, it's film people, it's dance cinephiles, it's people that don't know what dance film is, but they, met somebody and somebody recommended it. And we're all ages too, which I really like. Like, I'm such an old soul. I've been an old person since I was a child. And, it's nice to have a mix of ages. You have from, school age children to, elderly, wise, awesome people, and including my grandma, who's not elderly at all. She's just fantastic, So it's really nice that when you come to a Cascadia event, you're not kind of like, if you're looking to be with like a hip crowd, it's there's some people in there, but it's really like a nice mix of, there's families, there's people of all ages, people of all backgrounds. We have our forum and our reception at the beginning of the day, and that's included with your Dance Cinephile Pass. And then for those that just have the tickets, you can come to the two screenings. We have an evening screening and a night screening with a break in between. And during the break, we'll have a prize draw with gifts from Kibu Market and Flyover Canada. And yeah, it's not like an all-day event, but it is back-to-back. I've planned things to kind of breathe, and I think screenings are about an hour each, and they're just blocks of short films from all over the world, including some that are made right here in Vancouver. So should be good. I'm excited.
Good. How is this different from a dance festival or different from a film festival, and what will the events be like?
Well, we're definitely, we don't have any performances this year, which makes it, I would say, different than most dance festivals. Because, of course, most dance festivals are focused on, whether it's in a proscenium stage or if it's in some site-specific performances. I would say we probably feel more like a film festival than a dance festival, particularly with events like the Forum. And also being at Van City Theatre, which is like one of the film venues in Vancouver. So I would say if you're familiar with both dance festivals and film festivals, it will feel more like a film festival, but all the content and kind of we're going to have like the music, and you're going to have like the personality of the dance people there. So it'll be a little different, but I would say probably closer to a film festival given the kinds of events we're offering this year.
Okay, who is Cascadia for? Is it designed for industry insiders or the general audience?
We offer a variety of events so that hopefully we can serve different people. And even the same events, though we want to have intelligent conversation, we want it to be accessible. It's not, oh, we're going to, the 10 of us that know a lot about dance film are going to huddle over here. It's like, we want to make it accessible. We want it to feel like, if you're a dancer and you're saying, oh, like I'm shooting a concept video or I'm just doing my choreography, like we don't want it to feel out of reach. Like, though quality is really important, and though self-proclaimed, we show top quality dance films. We want to welcome, really welcome newer filmmakers and people that are at different stages of their career, like looking to explore, different ways they want to combine dance and film. And that said, like the films there's a lot of really accessible films that you don't have to be a dancer or a filmmaker to appreciate. I've found that over the past few years, like some people come in, they don't even know what dance film is, and they leave and they're like, I'm a dance cinephile. We pick a variety, there's different dance styles, they're from different countries, there's some documentaries. So like there really is something for everybody. And, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll be inspired. Like it's definitely designed that way so that you'll get a lot out of it if you're looking to get a lot out of it and if you have some background with it. But if you don't, it's okay too. And I'm sure that you'll still probably be moved by the films and inspired by the filmmakers present. And
you don't necessarily need to be in the industry. You can just be someone who just loves film, that is maybe someone who enjoys that, would just want to check it out, or they like dance. So it's just something for everyone.
Totally. And the thing is, we really want to push, it's not like we're going to we're not going to make everybody meet each other and like walk around and police it. But like we do really encourage that people do connect at the event, because that's part of the point of going to an in-person event. And part of the partnerships have come out of this. And, I've seen people one year at Cascadia and then the next year they made a film together, which is really cool. So, it's also for people that, maybe you're an animator, or maybe you like are a colorist, or maybe you do, set design or costume or any sort of job associated with the films, because dance and film require so many different jobs to make them. It's like, it's really an opportunity for people that do other jobs that are related to it, even if you don't think, oh, I'm not a choreographer, or I'm not a filmmaker, so it's not for me. It's like, well, are you a graphic designer? Because we need a lot of those. Are you an editor? Because we need a lot of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next? What is Dancinema doing beyond this June events?
Well, I do Discover Dancinema workshops, and those tour. So I've got a couple dates. Really excited to be in California this summer, so that'll be very fun. And what Discover Dancinema is we do like a dance class, but we also learn about dance film history. Sometimes we make a video, but not always. It kind of depends on the class. So workshops, and we also have Capital Dance and Cinema Festival, which is a year younger than Cascadia. And that's the event I do in the DC area. And, not all the films are the same because the audiences are different. But they're, and also the timing, in 6 months, you can get a lot of new projects coming in, or some projects that maybe, have been out too long. So, Capital Dance and Cinema Festival, in September 9th. For any listeners in the DC area, it's basically Cascadia, the American version. So that's the most immediate stuff happening.
Okay. How can our listeners register, get their passes and tickets to Cascadia 2018?
Great. All the info is at www.cascadiadcfestival.com. DC like dance, cinema, festival.com. So there, everything's there. It's a one-stop shop. We don't do tickets on Eventbrite. We use Square. So you just have to go into the site and click online box office, and then you'll be able to find ticket links there. And we do have separate events on June 2nd for children and for teenagers. So if you know any young dancers, we're offering tap and jazz classes with myself and Mark Orsborn. And we're also offering a dance cinema movie night for kids and teens as well. So the website's, I think, pretty clearly divided to June 2nd for kids and teens and June 3rd for adults. So today we were talking about the adult events, but if and when you do go on the website, you'll see that there are offerings on Saturday as well.
And location?
On Sunday, the events are at Van City Theatre, 1181 Seymour Street.
Okay.
In the Vancouver International Film Center.
Okay, and you are offering a code for my listeners, for Vancouver Entrepreneur listeners, and the promo code is VAN Entrepreneur for a 15% discount, and that's valid until June 1st. So I recommend you take advantage of that. That's a great offer for 15% discount, and I'm sure you'll have a great experience, and I think it's something that everyone can learn from. So
thanks, Robert. And I mean, we have individual tickets, so you can just come to the screenings if that's all you're interested in, or you can get a pass and you can come to the forum, and you get a T-shirt, you get popcorn. It's all bundled in there. So
okay, and you'll be there obviously both days, so they can
of course
they can come say hello to you, and if they want to have a conversation with you or connect with you, any of the entrepreneurs that are on the show would like to speak with you, I'm sure you'd be happy to speak with them. And
I would love to.
Great. Okay, Jen. Well, thank you for coming on the show today. I've learned a lot about you and the festival, and I'm sure our listeners have as well.
Thanks so much, Robert.
Great. Okay.
And good luck with the podcast. Thank you for doing this. It's really important for people to have resources like this, because sometimes, we have content that we listen to turn off. But I mean, when you facilitate a podcast like this that's truly like a resource, and it's educational and it's inspiring, I think that's a really important place to occupy in the web space and in people's minds. So thank you for doing that.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, Vancouver is a very community oriented. Entrepreneurs stick together, they help each other, and I'm finding as I do this, everyone's dialing into this so they can reach out to each other, and everyone wins, right? So that's
totally.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you again, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Bye-bye. Hey there. Thanks for taking the time to listen to the VancouverEntrepreneur.ca podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show today. Make sure you sign up for our newsletters and write a review for us on iTunes, and then connect with us on Twitter at Van City Podcast, and like us on Facebook. And you'll get all the latest news, including the BC Weekly Business Report, where you can find out more about what's going on in this fabulous province of ours. See you next time.